Today, we are here to discuss what meaning we give our pain. And it's very important to talk about meaning because if we talk about meaning, we can understand why we're holding on to pain and not letting it go. I totally did that simply for my own amusement. I'm gonna have a serious message today, though. I'm telling you that. Okay. We're going to talk today about meaning and pain, and it's for real. We're going to talk about it. Thank you. You've been such a good boy. Now you sit down. Okay. It is really, really important for you to understand the kind of meaning you are giving your pain, because the meaning you are giving your pain is the level of which the meaning you're giving your pain. I'm still a little disorganized from just putting my dog on the chair. Is going to be equivalent to the height and the intensity of your pain. So when I say this, here's what I mean. You get an ache in your back, an ache in your foot, in your shoulder, in your knee, an IBS flare-up, the hint of a migraine, whatever it is that keeps you stuck, that keeps you scared, that keeps you limited. You get the hint of it, and the first thing you do, without wanting to, without trying, is you assign a ton of meaning. You say, what is this going to mean for my weekend? What is this going to mean for the camping trip I planned with my family? What is this going to mean for my ability to get that work trip taken care of, or that report done, or that obligation that I've created for myself? What is this going to mean for my ability to parent? What does this mean about my mortality? What does this mean about my age? Do you relate to some of these concepts? You are giving so much meaning to that pain, and here's what happens, okay? As we discuss in many of these videos, your pain is a direct result of your nervous system in your brain seeing the repressed emotions and the meaning you give them and the fear and terror over being sick. They see those things as a more dangerous predator than your pain. Your pain, even though it's horrible to you, is keeping you quiet, in bed, not putting yourself in dangerous situations like having to see that person who made you feel bad about yourself. So the whole point of chronic pain is to keep us still and quiet and safe, even though it is safe in the unsafest way, as we talk about all the time. So the meaning that you give your pain and the fear that is attached to that meaning and the perseveration and the cyclical ruminating thoughts that come from whatever that meaning has been assigned is going to make your brain and your nervous system ramp up and up and up and up, because everybody has the red alarm. She just had a twinge of back pain, and all of a sudden she's got all of the engines are firing, and all of the DEFCON is going up and up and up. And is she going to make this work trip? And is she going to be able to fulfill her obligation? And are her kids going to be able to get what they need? And all of a sudden, you have taken that pain, which just began with a suggestion, which just began with a little tinge, which just maybe came from, sometimes you feel things in your heart, and sometimes you feel things in your body, and so you've got a lot going on right now, and the reservoir within you that holds these emotions just kind of went to critical mass for like 10 seconds. So you get a little tinge of pain, but then you take it and you run with it. You create all this meaning, and if you can imagine the fear and the terror and the panic and the all the future events that are not real. People say fear, FEAR, stands for future events aren't real. So all those things that may or may not come to pass, probably won't unless you get yourself all worked up. All of those things create a situation where now your brain and your nervous system decide there's something really wrong here. There is something, the predator of that fear and those repressed emotions that are involved in whatever it is that you need to do in your life have now gone. That predator went from in the distance, you see the woolly mammoth, like in the far periphery, to it's coming at you, it's charging. What can your system do to keep you safe? So that tinge in your back, that hint of a stomachache, that hint of a migraine now is going to become full blown, because now you have to go lay down. You have to save yourself from the predator of your mother-in-law who could criticize your parenting, from the predator of your boss who has a lot going on at work, at home, and is taking it out on you. It needs to save you from the predator of your own precious child, by the way, who simply by existing reminds you of how it felt to be 10 or 12 or 15 or 25, and you go into a state of feeling that you are not comfortable with because there's still unresolved issues from when you were 10 or 12 or 15 or 25, and you have to now tolerate those feelings. That is a predator, okay? I'm not going to go into the solution here because I have a million YouTube videos out there, and you can learn how to speak journal speak. You can learn how to implement a practice in your life that is going to take these repressed emotions. It is going to unearth them for what they really are, which is oftentimes a very sweet, loving little kid inside you that just wants to be heard and acknowledged that never was. And then once they're no longer a threat, the pain simply doesn't come. It ceases to be necessary. It melts away, it fades away. And this has happened time and time and time again over my over 20 years of practicing this in my own life, in my patient's life, as I speak, as I travel, as I teach, as I write, my books, my courses, everything I do, it leads to the same result, which is the people who work with me have no more pain. So, if we can feel that hint of pain, because sometimes we feel things in our hearts and sometimes we feel things in our bodies. You will always feel pain of some sort. You will always feel something in your system that makes you feel uncomfortable physically. It happens. We get stomach aches, we get headaches from stress, we get hives when we're in a panic, we get skin stuff when we're, stressed out. It happens. This is the state of human being. If you don't want to be a human being, then be a dog. But if you want to be a dog, then some weird lady is going to make you sit on a chair to start a video, so don't be a dog. You need to understand that you are in control of the meaning that you assign your pain. If you work your journal speak practice, and then in tandem to that, when you start to get a little hint of something, instead of giving it tremendous cataclysmic meaning, this catastrophe that may befall you, and if you just say, I get it, I hear you. I hear you stress, I hear you fear. Yes, I know. That work trip is really stressing me, and if I have a migraine, it'll ruin it. I get it, I get it, I get it. Just hear it. Hear what it's trying to tell you. And it doesn't mean you're not feeling it. Go to your journal speak, do your practice, feel it as you need to feel it, but don't give it that kind of ferocity, that kind of energy, that kind of passion that we want to give the things that we love. Don't give that. Don't give that in the form of fear. And I promise you, your pain can only take you so far. I've seen it happen again and again and again and a million times again. And I've seen it happen in my own body so many times that I can speak with this kind of conviction, because this is not hearsay. This is not conjecture. This is what I have witnessed firsthand too many times for me to count. That happens with people when they do their journal speak practice and do not allow that cycle of fear to feed their pain, to let their brain and their nervous system amp, so we have to create a really, really tragic situation. So, I hope this has helped you today. I hope you forgive me because I did not feel like washing my hair, and that is the reason that sometimes I don't record these YouTube videos, because I don't want to look like crap, but then I said, who cares? People just want the message. And I want to thank you for participating in that fun activity with my dog. And I hope you're having a great weekend and a great day. Bye.